I guess tonight for me was like a near-death experience where your entire life passes in front of you in 2.5 hours. We went to the White House today, and the president was there. We had an opportunity to have some pictures taken with the president, and at the end, I said to him, "Mr. President, I know, I appreciate your taking out the time. I said, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. It'd be my pleasure." And he said, "You're a good friend of Pat Leahy's, right?" And I said, "Yes, I'm a very good friend of Pat Leahy's." And he whispered some names in my ear, and I said, "Well, Mr. President, I might be able to get one or two of them through, but I don't think I can get the whole list." Ethel Kennedy, thank you. It's so special having you here tonight. Standing here is a long way from the accounting department at the Glidden Company, and I was an accountant. Most people don't like to admit that these days, but I was. I think we've taken a lot of the heat off the lawyers. We have a saying, you can take the boy out of accounting, but you can't take accounting out of the boy. It's not a very funny saying, but it's a saying that we have. And I still kind of follow the tax code, and I meant to mention it to the president. There is an inequity in the tax code. It's called the tax loss carry forward. And what it is if a corporation loses like a lot of money in 1 year, they can write it off over 5 years, but that's not available to individuals. If the company lost $1 billion in one year, they could write that off over 5 years, which would be that'd be it would be 150 million a year. Anyway, but if you're an individual, that's not available to you. I mean, if the IRS said to you, how much do you make, and you said, my wife and I together, our combined incomes are $65,000. So far this year, we've gone through $1.7 million. It doesn't work that way. This is a long way from the unemployment office in Chicago. I once worked behind the counter at the unemployment office, and this was like 1957, and we got $60 a week. It's true, and the claimants got 55. It's true. It's true. And they only had to come in 1 day a week, So. Thank you. I have some people to thank. I have to thank Arthur. I'll just say Arthur. He knows who he is, and he knows what he does. I have to thank my family, my children, and my grandchildren. You are the joy of my life. Yeah. And I have to thank my wife of 40 years. She has kept me grounded. She never lets me get too full of myself. We have in California on Wednesdays, they pick up the garbage, and you have to recycle it. Like, you have to take plastic and the paper, and that all goes in one place. And very often, late Tuesday, my wife will say to me, "Honey, would you take out the recycling? They're picking it up tomorrow, and you got to separate it." And I will say to her, "Do you think Joanne Woodward asked?" asked Paul Newman to recycle the cans and the plastic. And she said, if you were Paul Newman, I wouldn't ask you to take that. Anyway, thank you very much. This is a very special night for my family and I. And I thank all of you for making it so special. Thank you very much.